You know, when we get a headache, or maybe your back is acting up, or your joints are just aching, what's the first thing most of us do? We reach for a common, over-the-counter painkiller. We don't even think about it. But what if that simple little pill has a story to tell? A much darker, more dangerous one.
I mean, literally every single day, millions and millions of people are using these drugs, they're called NSAIDs, to just get through the day. They're everywhere. But here's the thing, just because something is common doesn't mean it's safe, and we really, really need to take a closer look. So that brings us to the big question for this entire explainer. Is it possible that the very thing you trust to make you feel better is actually causing serious harm to your body, from the inside out? The answer, well, it's pretty shocking. And this isn't just speculation. Let's start with a really stark warning that's coming directly from doctors. You know, the people who are on the front line seeing the real-world effects of these drugs. The data they're seeing is painting a pretty scary picture.
Okay, here's a number that should really make you pause. 20%. According to massive studies, that's how much your risk of heart failure can go up just by using these common painkillers. And believe me, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
As one doctor put it, the big data makes this crystal clear. It's not a fluke. And get this, it's dose-dependent. What does that mean? It means the more pills you take and the longer you take them for, the higher and higher that risk to your heart climbs. But the story doesn't even end with the heart. And this is where it gets, frankly, a little gruesome. These same drugs can literally eat away at the delicate lining of your entire digestive system. We're talking serious internal bleeding, ulcers, and in the worst-case scenarios, an actual hole being ripped open in your gut. I know, it sounds almost unbelievable. So you have to be asking, how on earth does a pill that's supposed to stop your headache end up causing this kind of catastrophic damage? Well, the answer lies deep inside a critical defense system that most of us never even think about. It all starts in your gut. See, your intestines have this amazing barrier. Think of it like a super smart security guard for your body, deciding what's allowed into your bloodstream and what gets kicked out. Well, it turns out NSAIDs are like a battering ram, just smashing right through that gate. The fancy scientific name for this is increased intestinal permeability, but you've probably heard it called by its much simpler name, leaky gut. And that's exactly what it is. The tight seals between the cells of your intestinal wall get broken, creating these tiny gaps. And through those gaps, things that should never be in your blood, toxins, bits of bacteria, undigested food, start to leak right in. Now, what's fascinating is that NSAIDs aren't the only bad guy here. As you can see, they're part of a whole crew of troublemakers. Things like chronic stress, alcohol, and that typical high-fat, low-fiber Western diet we eat, they all do damage. But NSAIDs are a particularly powerful and direct attacker of that gut barrier. And this diagram shows you exactly what's happening. See those little seals holding the cells together? Those are the tight junctions. When something like an NSAID comes along, it just busts them open. And you can see how that creates a direct pathway for all that junk from your gut to pour straight into your bloodstream. And this right here is the critical turning point. Because once that barrier is breached, the problem doesn't stay in the gut. It becomes a full-body crisis.
So how exactly does a problem in your gut set off alarms everywhere else? Well, when your bloodstream suddenly gets flooded with all these foreign invaders, your immune system, understandably, completely freaks out. It goes on the attack.
It's really a simple but devastating chain reaction. Step 1, the painkiller damages the gut wall. Step 2, all that bad stuff leaks into your blood. Step 3, your immune system sounds the alarm and goes into overdrive. But because the leak never stops, your immune system never gets to stand down. And that leads to step 4, a state of chronic, constant, body-wide inflammation.
And that inflammation is the real villain of this story. Because modern medical research is now pointing to that exact state of chronic, low-level inflammation as the hidden root cause for so many of the major diseases we're battling today.
I mean, just look at this list. Cardiovascular disease. Hey, remember that 20% increased risk of heart failure we started with? This is why. It's the inflammation. But it's also linked to autoimmune disorders, certain types of cancers, and even things you might not expect, like anxiety and depression. It's all connected back to the gut.
So when you know all of this, it kind of forces you to completely rethink how you look at pain, right? It's not just about shutting it up. It's about shifting your entire focus from the symptom to the real source of the problem.
You see, a painkiller is what we'd call a downstream fix.
It's like putting a bucket under a leaky pipe. It deals with the mess, but it never asks why the pipe is leaking. An upstream solution is about going up to the source and actually fixing the broken pipe.
And that upstream approach, it focuses on these 5 pillars of your life that you can actually control: your sleep, your physical activity, your nutrition, your stress levels, and your relationships. When you work on these, you can often lower the inflammation that's causing the pain in the first place, which means you might not even need that downstream fix anymore.
So we'll just leave you with this one final thought. The next time you feel that ache or that pain, before you automatically reach for a pill to shut it up, just pause for a second and ask yourself, what is this pain trying to tell me? What's the real message my body is sending? Because listening to that message, that could be the first step towards a much healthier life.